Yo, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Morning Market Report. I am Army Piper, and this is the Piper Academy Network. Welcome, everyone, guys. Starting on a 30-minute later schedule today. This is going to be our new time coming in right after the Alex O Crypto Show. So if I just see them coming in right now and rolling in to join us. So welcome to the Otter Gang. Welcome to the alumni, guys. Looking at green bubbles here on the daily right now. Hourly getting a little bit of a pullback. I am seeing some threats right now to the market. Looking at the daily money flow, we're going to check that out. It is moving to the downside, so be very careful, guys. We do have some economic data this week that's going to be coming to us, and then also got some headlines that we need to talk about. One of them, 5 things you need to watch this week about Bitcoin, and to top it off, man, there is a thing in there that says $700,000 Bitcoin is one of the calls, so we got to check that out, of course. But welcome, everybody. Let's go ahead and get it. You guys know what time it is. Class is in session. Let's roll it. Yo, let's go ahead and get this going here, guys. I'm looking at the charts right now, and we are rejecting a little OC retest right now on a trend line. I want to talk about that. But first, let's go ahead and bring up my co-host, the OC guy. Dude, what is up, man? How are you doing? How you feeling about the markets? Getting a little bit of open to the green side on the stocks this morning. But out of OC retest on Bitcoin, man. Flip a coin. Which way are we going here, bro?
Oh man, I don't know. We cannot ignore that, right? I mean, it's not that I said it, right? But and shout out to Triflat because he kind of like made it a trend to do the OC retest, but it's kind of like a pattern, right? The breakout retest and continuation. And I try to drill your brain, guys, with that because for me, it has been an amazing pattern that I follow over and over and over. But I'm between again, like the wall in a hard place because yes, we broke below. We're going for that retest, but in lower time frames, 4 hours, it seems like the oscillator is trying to push up. Still, we're pretty bearish. I believe we have a little bit more downside to go, or at least forming a bottoming pattern, maybe a double bottom or a sweep of the lows right before we start seeing some positive movements. But yes, the truth of the matter is that we're not looking good in Bitcoin. We're not looking that good in Bitcoin.
No, look, we got to talk about some key levels because we just closed out the weekly pivots. So looking at the pivot lines right now for the monthly, we're looking at like $89,000. I'm going to be looking at that. We got a lot to break down. Let's go ahead and get into it. Shout out to all the alumni and the Otter Gang in the house with us right now. We appreciate everyone that is here. But guys, we got to get into the news. We got a lot to unpack here in 1 hour. But I just want you guys to know, Billy Goat Tells emoji for members is now in there. So you guys can go and tap that. Let me know. Drop that Billy Goat Tells Givers Gain. That is the ethos here at the Piper Academy and on the Otter Show. That's why he redirects to us so much. I love the dude, man. Shout out to Alex O Crypto in the house. Let's go jump in and check out this news, though, guys. We got to break this stuff down for you. And let's take a look at the current market cap right now, sitting at $3.184 trillion right now. The trend is at $3.44 trillion. So we are currently on Bitcoin 7.56% undervalued. So looking at the current risk of Bitcoin, sitting at about 57.9% risk band on the wristband chart. And then looking at the dominance right now, Bitcoin with stable sitting at 60.55%. I told you, altcoin season, if it happens, we need to find that 71% on Bitcoin. That is typically when we get that flip down, okay? So without stable coins, we're sitting at 65.17%, but that 71% is with stables. That's what we're watching. So still got quite a bit of ways to go here. Let's go over and jump and see what the fear and greed looks like. Over to the fear and greed index, guys. Currently, we are sitting at, it looks like 43. So we are in fear. That is the classification level of the current fear and greed is fear right now. So keep that all in mind. Let's go over to the crypto bubbles and see how we're looking on the hourly. Quite a bit of red here. We do have some things that are green. Looks like on the hourly, SUI, Virtuals, Tau, Ultima, Move, Flare, XDC among the green, but a lot of red there. Let's go down and see how price is looking on everything right now. Bitcoin currently at 97,383, up 1.1% on the daily, down 0.7% on the hourly, hitting that trend line rejection for the OC retest. Ethereum sitting at $2,653, up about 0.6% on the daily, down about 0.6% on the hourly. XRP up about 0.5% right now. It's at 242. We got Solana up 2.2%. Cardano's up 2.2%, but everything on the hourly sitting red on those. Tron's up a slight percentage on the hourly, up about 0.5% on the daily. Chainlink giving away most of its gains on the daily, 0.6%, down 1.5% in the past hour, sitting at $18.68. Avalanche is at 2.3% to the upside, 1.2 on the hourly here. Sui, though, guys, moving up 2 spots from number 15 to number 13, up 7.8%. And we just started, just got a super chat from Alex L. Can we please sub to Piper and get him the 7K? Bro, I appreciate you, man. Shout out to Alex O Crypto. Appreciate the super chat, bro, and I appreciate the love. That is family right there. That's how family rolls. But yeah, guys, we just started. So we do a DCA thing in our community for our members where you can DCA strategy with levels of risk. So you get like a DCA times 1 or times 2 multiplier based on how low we are on the risk levels. We got Sui now on our DCA plan. So the Piper plan now has Sui in it. If you guys are members over there, make sure you go check it out. 7.9% though to the upside, sitting at $3.28 on Sui. Stellar Lumens and Toncoin both down on the daily here. Rounding out the top 20. Oh, Litecoin, guys, moved up to number 19. It's up 10%. We've been talking about Litecoin here on this channel for about the last 2 weeks. I said, guys, watch Litecoin. ETF on this thing. Good, solid mining hash rate on it. Retro Mike Tech loves Litecoin too, and it is now up 10.1% on the daily. So if you guys have been watching, you know that we have been shifting a little bullish on Litecoin. It's now sitting at $118 and rounding out the top 20 there, guys, at 4.2% upside. $23.96 is hyper liquid. Let's go over and check out the metrics here on the TradFi side. Looking at the market here, Dow Jones currently up on the daily now about 0.4%, a little bit below 0.39%. S&P is up 0.65%, and the NASDAQ, the tech sector, pushing up 1.13% here on its upside move. Russell 2K up about 0.25%, and we like to see the VIX red. This means the volatility index is not showing a lot of selling pressure versus buying pressure, so we are seeing a little bit of a move up there. Let's check out the bonds. Look at that 10-year because that's our big recessionary threat. It is pulling down in red. That's a good thing to see. 4.471%. 5% is the threshold where we start to get a little worried, okay? Did we just do some memberships? I see that. Trade Intuition just get the 5 Piper Academy memberships. Looks like Dave Bumble of the Brumblebee picked up one. It looks like Swag Schmitty, NW, Christopher, and Adrian all picking up one. I appreciate all of you guys. Emma Coiner, shout out to you. I see you in the chat there too with Randy, Papa Randy in the house. All right, so looking at this guy, yeah, 5%. That's the range you want to watch on that 10-year. Let's look at gold, guys. We've been talking about $3,000 gold for a year. We are almost there. $2,933 up 1.58% today. Silver sitting at $32.68. Copper on the upside move, also up 1.77% today, sitting at $4.67. Shout out to BC Port Corp. He's been moving on that copper. Platinum's up 1.16% today, and palladium breaking $1,000 again. All the metals looking strong. Key inflation readings. You guys need to know a couple of things. I'm not going to read this whole article, but key inflation readings and earnings this week. It says next week because this came out last week, but this week, guys. Need to reassure the worried market. There is a worried market right now. I want to be straight up on that. So this week, this data that comes out is going to be very important to settle that sentiment that we're seeing in the marketplace right now. If we see these treasury yields start to spike higher, that will be because of the data that comes out. So just be aware that we do have this worry, this sentiment threat this week going on, and that these earnings need to come in strong, and then the economic data needs to come in better than expected. Let's go ahead and talk about this. Let's go ahead and talk about this economic data for the week. Looking here tomorrow, we don't have anything today unless you go to the 1 star. On that 1 star, we do have consumer inflation expectations. Right now, this is going to be coming in an hour from now, so we'll be off air when this drops. But right now, it's 3%. They're expected that it's going to come up a little bit higher. So that means that the consumer sentiment is that inflation is going to read higher for us, okay? So that's on the 1 star. I just wanted to bring that up. That data will be there. I'll drop it on X. Make sure you follow me on X so I can get that to you. And then tomorrow we're going to get Fed Chair Powell. He's going to be speaking. He's got two meetings this week with Congress, I believe, so with lawmakers, I should say. So that one tomorrow, and then Wednesday we're going to be coming in with our big inflation data. So February 12th, Wednesday, guys, 6:30 a.m. This is 8:30 a.m. on the East Coast. We're going to be looking at core inflation rate month over month and year over year. You can see as of right now, the core inflation rate month over month expected to be higher, in line with that sentiment that we just talked about. So we do have some rising inflation threat. This would be another month since September. We've been on an uptrend of higher inflation since September. So guys need to make sure that you are watching that, because if this does come in high, that sentiment probably going to be confirmed, and then we could see some market sell-off this week. Be very careful. Inflation rate year over year, though, looking to be static, and then inflation rate just without cores not including energy and food. The inflation rate overall actually expected to be down. This is probably going to be because of housing. We're seeing a lot of housing price come down right now. So being that housing is not, the prices on homes are dropping. Demand is lessening right now because we have a 7% mortgage rate and a lot of uncertainty. Nobody wants to buy a house when they're this overbought and then watch it dropped, right? So, you don't want to be upside down on your mortgage, right? So we are seeing that could be coming in lower. That might be our saving grace there. What else do we have? On Thursday, we're going to get PPI. This is your producer price index for how much it costs producers to produce goods based on inflation for their base products to make other products, right? And then we got retail sales, import, export prices all coming in on Friday. So busy week of economic data, guys. I want to jump over here. Michael Saylor, guys, back to buying. Last week, if you recall, he did not buy any Bitcoin last week. MicroStrategies has acquired 7,633 Bitcoin at $742.4 million. Average price, $97,255 currently right now. I believe he's in the negative on that. Is he 97,255? Let me go look real fast. Nope, he's about break even right now. He's a little bit in profit there. So shout out to Michael Saylor. He didn't dip on you this time, bro. He picked those up now, and he has a total of 478,740 Bitcoin. So what else is there? What's happening with Ethereum? We're going to talk about this in a minute here. We're going to look at the Ethereum chart first. But is there a short position on Ethereum? Short squeeze coming for Ethereum right now. Short positioning in Ethereum is up 40% in 1 week and 500% higher positions for shorting on Ethereum since November 2024. Never in history has Wall Street hedge funds been so short on Ethereum. It's not even close. So we're going to take a look at that chart. Could be getting a short squeeze coming very soon on Ethereum. It's going to be interesting. What else was there? We'll talk about this in a minute. First, I want to go look at the Bitcoin chart, and then we'll come back and look at this article. Most sell risk right now since Three Arrows Capital collapse. 5 things you need to know about Bitcoin this week. But right now, let's go over and pick up the. Oh, we got another 5 memberships gifted. Man, hey, dude, trade intuition, man. I love you, bro. Appreciate you, man. You don't have to do that, but I appreciate it. He's growing the family over here. So shout out to you. Another 5 memberships gifted by that amazing soul. That is Trade Intuition, guys. You guys should follow him. He has his own channel and he does his own TA sessions over there, but he's also the host of Trade Academy right here on Piper Academy. He does Trade Academy every day, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday. So come check it out. Let's go ahead and talk about this Bitcoin chart, OC. I'm going to let you lead it off with some short-term time period, the low time frame, and then I want to talk about some things that I'm seeing on the higher time frame right now that we need to discuss because we got a target that we're watching. Let's go kick it over to your chart, OC, and see what you got.
Absolutely, guys. Now that you are subscribed, go check it out, our Discord, and take a look at what I've been following. Remember, this is a signal that we've been giving for a long time, along with, you can see here, BC Popcorn, Port Corp, Trade Tuition, and many of us, including Piper, we give those signals to you guys when we see setups and possibilities to enter. We give you the full description, and also we even describe what we teach here in the video. So very quickly, this was one of our my last calling here, along with crypto trades. A shout out also to crypto trades. And let's see the result of that. Remember that we took profits on OM already. At this point, it was TP number one, expecting to break back up. And we went almost there. Look at that, man. It was so. Oh, not that one. Come on. So close. Look at that. Almost hitting that stopped out, man. It was almost man unimaginable. So guys, if you did took any of the trades that we gave even in here in the class and you have not yet taken profits, this is your time to act. Do not let it go. Remember, this is not financial advice. If you want to hold it. But I would say as a friendly suggestion to just take a look at this and take your profits. Take a look at Bitcoin really quick. Man, we have broken a trend line that I was expecting here, but let's go over our previous analysis. Remember that a little bit of my spaghetti, we were looking at this big range to the downside, and then as we were forming this trend line, we broke again the trend line, we created this pattern, and this is not good because it's not about the breakout, it's about your retest also along that dynamic reactor. And look at that, it seems to me that we want to start turning around on the oscillators. Not there for sure, but we are below the zero line. Let me go to a cleaner charting here and let me show you what I'm seeing here and why I'm not that excited about Bitcoin. Yes, we have a very thin dynamic reactor, but our prime score is very low still. We are almost on a number 10. Remember, 10, it is the unicorn number, basically telling us that we are highly consolidating. Are we consolidating? Yes, we are. But also 9 or 10, it is that we are at the end of that consolidation. So be careful because we could be breaking. And I think that we're going to be breaking to the upside, but with a fake out. Still, we need to wait a little bit more, and that is because we are almost there to the bouncing area. See where that bouncing area is, right? See where that bouncing area is, and what we see there, retracement. So retracement below the dynamic reactor is not good. I would love to have this movement like right against the zero line and the price action almost piercing through the zero line. For me, that would have been this and this. That would have been an indicator that we are going to be having that last push through and break through it. So if you can see right here, it almost did it, you see, and we have that big body candle just a little bit below that dynamic reactor. Still did not have that potential energy to break through. But at this point, I'm going to be calling it for a flop. We still need to wait. Remember, other than that, that's what I'm seeing on the 4 hours, Piper. I think the information that you have upcoming next might be very interesting. But let me try it or toss it back to you, my friend.
Awesome. I'll keep you up here with me, man. Welcome to the screen. So yeah, I am watching some things here on my chart, guys. We do have an auto printed trend line here from Chart Prime's indicators, and we are rejecting. This is the OC retest that I was talking about coming right off of that. Looking at our monthly pivots now, because we closed out the weekly pivots, so I've set it up for the monthly, guys. Our monthly pivot, I should say, is coming all the way in at 89,226 right now. Our first level support line is coming in at 91,310. Our area of consolidation, our main median area, the MM zone that we call mother's milk here on our pivots, guys. This is where you typically will enter in for either longs or shorts, depending on if you're bouncing or rejecting. That area is coming in between 99,300 upwards to about $101,000 here. And we do have the quantum reactor coming in right in line with the top of mother's milk there, skimming the top of that level there. We've got to get above this trend line though right now, because if we don't, we're looking at more downside. And again, those levels below us, we do have a daily close here at $96,513 for the daily close. So we have that daily pivot there, but looking at the monthly, guys, all the way down at $89,000. A couple of things that I want to point out on here, and big shout out, by the way, to Crypto Pollo. I saw that he dropped 5 gifted memberships. So shout out to you, bro. Much love to you, man. You guys are the best community ever. And also happy birthday to Dave Digital. Dave Digital today celebrating his birthday. From what I understand, I was listening in over on Otter Gang, and I heard him give a shout out to that. So shout out to Dave Digital for his birthday, man. Hope this year is phenomenal for you. Also, we got that Billy Goat Tails. We got that Billy Goat Tells emoji there for you, Billy. I got you, bro. All right, let's go talk about this article, and then I want to come back and look at these levels because we're going to look at the heat map. We're going to take a look here at the daily, weekly, and daily schedule for Bitcoin, where it's at on price action, what the oscillators are telling us there. And I want to go take a look at this article first. So, the most sell risk since Three Arrows capital collapse. You guys may remember this. This is back in the day with FTX and all that. So, 5 things to know in Bitcoin this week that we're looking at here. Bitcoin digests tariffs, sell-offs, and more as Bitcoin price action clings to the center of its 3-month range. OC, I'll let you drink some coffee and eat your breakfast there. There you go. Bitcoin dodges tariffs and mass exchange selling as a wild February ride continues this week. Range-bound Bitcoin price action is tipped to flip in an instant on very thin liquidity right now, guys. And when you have low liquidity, that means that you're going to have high volatility. It's just how it is, and it's very easy for them to sink the market. CPI week is here again. We just talked about all that. Chairman Jerome Powell testifying twice before U.S. lawmakers this week. Tariff talks are back on, this time involving a whole raft of U.S. trading partners. And so far, only gold is benefiting, which we just showed you that too. $2,900+ right now. Wells are still in full distribution mode and have been since late last year. Do they know something that the market do not? Not everyone is hawkish on the outlook. A new raft of crypto price prediction sees Bitcoin embarking on a trip to $700,000 this quarter. Let's get in and talk about each one of these little bullets here. Very thin order book set the stage for Bitcoin price move. The volatility has yet to surprise traders up or down as a weekend of steady downside gives way to modest gains to start the week. Looking here, the buzz around fresh tariffs from the U.S. government failed to spark a repeat of the intense volatility that we saw last week, where they had big sell-off, with traders still waiting for the next market catalyst. Slow moves in the past 4 days, which was normal in order to fill most wicks. So I think this week we could see some more volatility due to Wednesday's CPI, so we could see the real move of the week after that event. So everyone thinks that pretty much just flat until we get into Wednesday's CPI data, and then that CPI data could be the volatility that starts to either wash down or up. So they are talking about some levels here. Look for this on this chart here. You can see where they're talking about the price coming down and then doing a liquidity sweep, getting all the liquidations before it goes up. Order books are very thin at the moment. PA very slow and not seeing any strong signals to determine up or down. So he can given $94,000 as a potential short-term bottom should the liquidity hunt ensue. And that's what he's talking about here. Liquidity hunt down to $94,000, liquidity sweep on this doji wick that we have, and then upside move there. What else do we have here that we were talking about? There was another section here I wanted to go over. There it is. Powell testimony leads hectic macro week ahead. So, guys, what he says at these things, talking about the CPI, the PPI data, the inflation, the current rate cuts. Right now, it looks like we don't have a rate cut coming for months ahead on the CME prediction chart. So, on that front, everyone's going to be listening to what he says to these lawmakers. If he's more hawkish or dovish, that could also cause some short-term volatility, be a catalyst for the crypto markets in the recent months. So, yeah, there we go. 93.5% chance as of right now that we will not see a rate cut in the March. We don't have one for February. March is the next FOMC. And then let's go on further down here. There's another one. Tariff wars enter a second round. So this week, targeting steel and aluminum, the blanket measures was sleek to match tariffs already in place among U.S. trading partners. As a result, weakness in crypto markets was observed over the weekend, with U.S. stock futures nonetheless shrugging off the news. They were good this morning, guys. The stock market opened up strong this morning. The futures were looking strong. We can go over here and look. Still sitting in green right now, up over a whole percent on the tech sector right now. So we are seeing that they just shrugged it off and did not really care about it. Let's get back to that chart. Article that's major risk asset volatility characterized the start of February as indexes across the board suffered a sharp dip on the first tariff threats with Canada and Mexico. That was ultimately shelved and put away. And they said, hey, not right now. We'll look at 30 days from now. But now we've got new ones coming for steel and aluminum. So Wells are distributing Bitcoin at 9 times the yearly average right now. Bitcoin investor cohorts continue to display divergent behavior when it comes to risk exposure to Bitcoin price levels. In its latest findings, on-chain analytics firm Glassnode shows that while retail investors have upped Bitcoin buying activity, whales have been reducing their exposure since it first hit $100,000 in Q4 of last year. So since mid-December, retail investors have been accumulating Bitcoin at an accelerated pace, stacking an average of 10,627 Bitcoin per day. That is 72% faster than the past year's average. So a lot of people buying near the top on retail, while big money, big smart investors, they say, smart money, has been selling off. So whales, on the other hand, they've upped their daily distribution volumes by 9 times the average of last year, around 32,500 Bitcoin per day. They are distributing back out. Whales, traditionally considered to be smart money, anticipating market shifts in advance, frequently flip between net accumulation and distribution. So that is what is going on there. So be very careful, guys. They are selling off, but we do have some stuff here talking about seller exhaustion. They may be getting tired because it keeps getting bought up. We're not seeing any big hard crashes on Bitcoin. That being said, some predictions have been coming out of the woodwork here, guys, on Bitcoin and Ethereum in this article. When it comes to crypto benefiting from major macro liquidity boosts, hodlers may not need to wait long. In the latest round of price predictions, Bill Hardite, founder and CEO of crypto asset manager Abra, said that beginning in Q1 this year, Bitcoin should embark on a trip to its cycle top, a giant $700,000 Bitcoin. I don't know about that, but I'll take anything in that direction from here, right? The reason he says lies in U.S. economic reality, hinting that the days of quantitative tightening and other restrictive Fed policy measures are numbered. He said, what did he say? He said, I had the thing here. There we go. Even Barheit's base case calls for $350,000 Bitcoin, while Ether and Solana are due to see macro peaks of $16,000 Ethereum, $1,800 Solana. The cyclical Valhalla is coming. So there you go. Let's come over here and talk about this, OC, because we're seeing some weakness right now in the Bitcoin. I'm getting ready to show that chart. But what do you think? Is this going to be a pullback, a liquidity sweep, and then set us up for $700,000 Bitcoin? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this before we look at that Bitcoin chart.
Oh man, we start seeing more targets. I mean, I was going crazy, and now we're seeing what? Well, let me say that I hope so. Despite we see a little bit of a bearish Bitcoin, seeing a pullback wouldn't be that much of a big deal. In fact, if we can go very quick to my charts, I think we could be looking at something like it. Let's go visit one of my old overviews in here, where I talked about. Let me see if I got. There we go. What I talked about, a possible pullback on the longer running here. So a sweep of the lows right here, and let's just take this one out because that was I was explaining that after we break, we need to take a look at our oscillator, and there's a chance that we could be going down if that is the cycle end. But we could be seeing a sweep of the lows if we get below somewhere around 90K. That will set us up back again all the way up, and that is not just taking, that is not taking out of my sleeve. This is just copying what we saw right here, right? As you can see, the same possible pattern we could be repeating at this point, and that could be based on the accumulation of big capital being played out, which will interpretate as higher lows and higher highs, right? So more, a little bit more volatility over a longer period of time. So going back for a liquidity swipe would not be a bad thing. Remember, we need to be prepared, and until we start breaking the daily trend, I would not be that worried. Something important to note, it is that we're also coming in strong with a dynamic reactor. So maybe that sweep of the lows might not be, as I'm indicating here, at 81, but better somewhere around 87, 90, because we have also that previous big trend line support, right? So I think all things considered, I think there is a real chance for that sweep of the lows. I'm still bullish on Bitcoin, but we need also to revise what you had on your chart, which is the golden pocket, right? Right against us. So that will play a big role, I think, in the upcoming weeks.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. Good calling out. Let's jump over and check out the daily chart, show you what I'm seeing over here. And then let's talk about this long-term trend that we've got going on, because we are sitting at a critical support level right now. So let's jump over there. Let's take a look at this daily. Shout out to everybody in the chat right now, guys. I appreciate all of you guys. If you haven't done so yet, smash that like button, man.
I gotta pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers in this racket.
Let's go. All right, let's take a look here at Bitcoin, guys. We are sitting right now on Bitcoin at 97,152. That recent purchase from Michael Saylor officially in the red. Let's go take a look at what we're seeing here, though. We do have a resistance level coming right above us on the daily at 101,357. That's going to be in our predictive ranges here. This is where we like to see our price in that pocket. Right now, we're beneath that. We do have a support level that's been pretty much our prime support on the predictive ranges, also sitting at 93,289, and then our dynamic reactor coming in at $89,000. Looking at the oscillators, though, the histogram's pretty flat right now. Signal line still coming down for sell indicator on the MACD normalized. Money flow, though, is what's bothering me. You can see here this wave coming down that's red and pointing downward right there. That is money flow index on Chart Prime's Oscillator Pro Plus, and right now it is showing downside move. We did peak on the True 7 here down to the downside, and we did show a bottom indication here on the power bar with a hidden bearish divergence. So we do have some hopium here on the daily with that uptrend, that power bar, that divergence, and a transition line for more upside. But money flow being to the downside means it could be short-lived. RSI showing that we are at a low level here, guys, but we can break way below that 30% and just give us another continuation wave. So what we could end up seeing here with the Heikin-Ashi candles getting as small as they are is just another little pump up and then downside move, which could happen literally off of this one candle, could be our upside move before we continue that wave down. The chart that he's talking about, though, that we need to talk about is this one here. And you guys know I've showed this many times. If you haven't seen it, got a whole video about it, about how Bitcoin follows these trend-based fibs, right? So you're looking at like a low to the high to the low, and that creates this trend-based fib for the next golden pocket, which has typically been our top range here. We did have an outlier back in 2017 where we broke above that. But right now we have been fighting since we first hit it back here in December. We have been fighting, actually, I believe it was November even. Yeah, end of November, beginning of December. We've been fighting with the 618 here. That is the 61.8% fib for our top. And that has been historically a topping zone for Bitcoin for the cycle. The hopium that I have, you guys see the two moving averages on here right now, and this is the pi cycle top indicator. When we hit the tops on this, guys, we go back here and look, it gives us a signal, and that was it back in 2021. We did have the outlier where it came back in and pumped higher, but with no liquidity. If you actually had oscillators on here, let me see if I got that oscillator. Let me go look. Yeah. No, I do not have that one on this chart, but if you had this oscillator on and you look, I can put that onto the monthly here and just show you what that looks like. We do have a divergence printing right now like we did back in 2021. Let's go back here and take a look at 2021. You can see we had a peak from high to a higher high while the RSI was going low. Now we have a high to a higher high while the it's going low. So on the monthly, we have a bearish divergence that's still printing here. So be very aware of that. And when we look at this on this chart, that would be very, we didn't have as much of a pullback here because of institutional buying pressure. But we did have a decent pullback from this first point. Let me get the magnet on there so I can get an exact measurement for that. And you're looking at a move to the downside of like 33% versus the 53% that we had back over here. So looking at where we are right now, our key support level right now is coming in at $92,000. What is that? That is this lower band here of the pi cycle bottom moving average. And once we break those, guys, unless we get another rally like we did in 2021 where we had that summer pullback, this very likely due to the manipulation from FTX, by the way. The stuff came out during the trial. But you can see, once we break that red bottom cycle, we tend to get that as resistance. So not a good sign if you're thinking that we have more downside, more upside to come, and we break that level. That could be an indication that we are now looking at that resistance of a bear market flip on that moving average. As of right now, though, no reason to get too too up in arms about the top being in because we do have our support on this. Until we break this, guys, I cannot fully shift into a fully bearish mode. I just need to make people aware, because the more aware you are, the more you have knowledge. Knowledge is profit. So watching this, guys, we are targeted right in there. Matter of fact, this is going to be our target zone. Let's just go ahead and call it. That is going to be the target zone right there in between that golden pocket and what we're seeing on the moving average of the Pi cycle top. Let's go ahead and kick it back over and see what OC's seeing on some altcoins. Are you looking at any altcoins right now, OC, or do you have any comments about what we're seeing with that Pi cycle moving average bottom holding us up, lifting us up while we're squeezing against that golden pocket zone? It is not a good spot to be in for Bitcoin. Which one do you want to talk about? We can talk about that, or we can move on to altcoins.
Oh man, just a little comment on Bitcoin. I mean, still, whatever happens, I'm gonna be holding my Bitcoin. That also brings me to my mind. So, a couple of songs that you had right there on your side. Although that was on altcoins, but man, I mean, the whatever happens, just so you know, and this is complete transparency, all of my savings for retirement are on Bitcoin. So, despite I could be seeing a big dump, I am prepared because I'm on spot, I'm on holdings, and I do know I have the least or the smallest part of my whole account and savings on leverage, right? So, and still, I have a stop loss and a plan for reinvestment. So, guys, if you are not part of the Piper Academy, remember that today is Monday. Man, I was Spanish Englishing
DCA Monday.
Lunes. Exactly, yeah. Man, I don't know, but and I just run to it to see the updates, because if you don't know, I'm also following that strategy because I think that is an amazing one. So if you're in doubt, go check it out. It's a great place to start if you're just getting involved with Bitcoin.
I got a song about dollar cost averaging into altcoins. Let's go talk about that real fast, and then we'll jump into altcoins. Get whatever altcoins you want ready, OC, for your chart. Let's go talk about this, because this shit's pretty funny. I'm going to put it out there. I apologize about the language. But let's go ahead and check this out. This is pretty good.
Yeah, I'm gonna ride my alts down to all-time lows. I'm gonna buy till I can't no more. I'm gonna buy these alts cause they're oversold. I'm gonna buy till I can't no more. I got my altcoins by the bag, emotionally attached. Throw them on my back, got my ledger on my neck. Buying all these shit coins, you can keep your Bitcoin. I am broke as hell, but I will never sell. I'm never selling nothing. I'm not selling nothing.
This is Buck's theme song. That's Buck's theme song, OC. I ain't selling nothing.
Oh man.
No, I saw that. I had to share it with you guys. OC, what do you got on your altcoin chart, bro? Let's go kick it over there.
Oh, perfect. Let's go take a look at it. We've been following on Pendle, and Pendle, I was expecting a breakout. That breakout did not happen as I was expecting. It was a fake out, because look at that absorption zone. Went almost to my alert. And that alert is still there because we did not quite hit it. Man, that's been the topic of this week, setting alerts and not hitting them. Nonetheless, I was expecting a breakout, actually closing above the dynamic reactor, going for the retest, and my alert system was on this trend line. Right now, if you follow on that one, we had a Pendle alert because we are retesting right here on this trend line. Just so you know, this perspective has changed, and that is because we did not break above it, right above the dynamic reactor. Are we above the zero line? Absolutely, right. And wait for this the FOR flip of the ribbon at support, and we did it, but we did not break to the dynamic reactor. So this retest is not going to be counting unless we break above the dynamic reactor, and the retest is going to be on the dynamic reactor. Just following on that one up, guys. The entry is still valid. I'm looking for a possible entry at this point. We have a very nice setup of higher lows, right, and kind of like higher highs. But remember, based on trend theory and trend line theory, we need to take the previous meaningful high, or at least make a double top, and then above an area of good volume, and finally break the previous high here. So remember, this entry would be on the way up in here after we have confirmed that we have some volume coming up. The entry is still valid, but we need to wait for the setup or the market structure. Some of the things that I'm looking at, and I want to revise it with you guys. This is something that I do. I want you guys to pick up on it. Is just look at the structure in here, right? For example, Ethereum, it's in a base area. So for me, that is something that I need to want to look at, especially because I kind of like I want to try. Was trying to push above, but still pretty good on. I mean, pretty low on our prime score, right? For example, BNB is looking way better, right? And look at the difference between Ethereum, right, and BNB. So if we can make that breakout of the trend line, and which trend line? Oh, see this trend line that I just drew. So if we can make a breakout of that trend line, that in this case, well, was this more flattish? Why? Because I mean, how could we create a trend line here? Is not really a thing, right? But if we made it like that, look at that breakout, and we could have the chance to do this previous next movement. So at this point, BNB could be a way to entry as we have flip of the ribbon. Something against it is that money flow is on red and True 7 is going down. Still, that could change. Remember to wait for that flip of the ribbon, especially since we have a big support running here. So if Bitcoin behaves, or at least Bitcoin stays where it needs to stay, and let me show you something else that I had it here. It's not there. Come on, where were you? I think I removed it, but we had an area of a pivot here playing out very nicely with us. Nonetheless, if Bitcoin at least stays in the range, I think we have a good chance for BNB to at least make a double topic here. So that's what I'm looking at. Look for those different patterns in altcoins. Don't just do what seems to be the same topic everywhere. Try to mix and match. So if you're doing one and one altcoin, then you do another structure differently, you have the chance for them to move simultaneously depending on each structure. So turning it back to you, Piper.
Yeah, I'm taking a look at Solana here right now, man. We are getting our bounce support here on our lower predictive ranges here on the daily. I want to bring that up first. Upper side of this is the point of control, which would be $255, currently price sitting at 202. That level of support that I was talking about last week being the golden pocket. We did get a wick down here last Monday, got a nice bounce on the quantum reactor, and it's still in green. Looking at the oscillator, looks like the ribbon for the MACD normalized, the buy signal is on this curvature up. Could be getting the flip on that here in the next few days. And the histogram giving us a nice growth. You see money flow starting to give a curving bottom here. That is a good sign for some money, that the money flow is looking strong. And we did get a peak seeker that printed right here on Saturday, guys. So Saturday, the peak seeker saying, hey, bottom's in, hidden bearish divergence. Peak, the True 7 did clip out there, and now we got this upside move sitting below that 30% for upside on RSI. Also, what I want to point out on the 4-hour here is we have a rising trend line that's been giving us support. So be very careful when we come into this line that we don't break this and get an OC retest underneath, similar to what we're seeing right now on Bitcoin. Reminder what that looks like. It looks like this right here, where we've got this rejection coming in on our current candle to the downside. Looking at this on Solana, though, we're got it as support right now. So I am seeing that this could, let me get that stretch back out. There we go. This could be a good area for us to set an entry on a long. Once we bounce on it, and then set your stop loss just on the other side of these wicks of liquidity sweep for liquidity sweep sweep reasons there. Man, line please. Words are hard today. Be aware though. We do have this resistance zone up here that I've been talking about for a hot minute on the show. It's buzz support, and then we flipped it into resistance, and now it's in the red instead of green. We do have also the dynamic reactor and the value area high from the fixed range volume profile coming in there too. Actually, it'd be a value area low, point of control all the way back up there. So if we do hit this area, watch out for a rejection. That could be what actually happens until we come down. But right now, guys, you could be looking at a good long setup excuse me, on this 4-hour trend line. to get up to that area. So you can long up to that and then flip that into a reversal for a short there. Looking at the 4-hour oscillator, we do have a blue that is a bullish oscillator ribbon to the upside. Money flow again on the 4-hour coming up, and the volume is looking strong here on the volume matrix. So as of right now, guys, that line, that trend line there coming in, current price on that is $198, $200 for that $200 there for that psychological number for support on that. If we break it though, look for that retest. Could be heading right back down to our lower support zone. That's going to be coming in at 179 right now. So that's what I'm seeing on the chart there, guys. Let's pass it back over to you, OC. See what you got, man.
Absolutely. First of all, shout out to Alexandra G, the Queen Mode. Thank you so much for also that you help us here on the videos, making this this setups and this timing lines. It really, really helps. Appreciate it with all my heart. Thank you very much for that. And let's take a look at that Goldman Sachs, because we talked about this on Thursday, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, February the 16th here, right? So let's take a look at Goldman Sachs. Here we go. Remember that we were expecting a bounce out of this broadening wedge or mega fund, right? So basically, I was telling you guys, be careful. Most likely, we're going to be trying to push through, but finally, we're going to be breaking down and finding some support on those order blocks. Why? Because order blocks are magnetic. We just needed a possible reversal. And that reversal played out at the top. Let's take a look at what happened here. Look at that beautiful. We did that final move that I was expecting. There we go, trying to fake out, double top, and then we are on our way down. So guys, hopefully you have either taken profits or prepare yourself for this possible scenario. Let's take a look at where do we have the rest of our order blocks or even trend lines. And as you can see, we have a beautiful trend line. So at this point, we're going to be finding some support when we see FOR, right? Flip of the ribbon. So I know you guys like better altcoins. So let's go take a look at GM, because GM has been playing out very nicely. Look at that. We had this movement of what we've been seeing on, remember, Ethereum, Atom, EOS, right? So those legacy coins. Remember that we just draw here. Remember this one that we also will just draw here. Well, it looks like GM actually played it out very nicely, like a sir, right? Went to the dynamic reactor, bursted through the dynamic reactor, right? Money flow pushing in, and we are now on our way up. Let's see how big of a difficult path we have right here. We have our previous weekly high in here. I will say that we can still go high in here, maybe bounce, and then go visit some lows at this point. It is true that we can start also reversing in here and going for dynamic reactor, but so far, because our consolidation score is 0, which means we are not consolidating, which means we are moving strongly within a trend, I would say that we have a little bit more way to the upside, although I would not be suggesting, this is not financial advice, but still not friendly suggesting to chase after the price action. I rather see it going for another retest. Yes, we have a minuscule retest here, but I like it to have a little bit more multi-candle retest here, finding some support. Remember, FOR, flip of the ribbon, and then finally off we go with strength and following the next movement here. Something also important to note here is that we are making what seems to be a head and shoulder, inverted head and shoulders, which if we trace our maybe neck area, I would say that it will be looking something like that. So again, if we are able to break the 25, remember, we're trying to get in at a retracement zone, right? Stop loss, a little bit more wiggle room, and if we can catch the bottom of that shoulder, will be very nice position for the next breakout continuation. And the possible target here, it is looking juicy if we can nail this. All right, so take your eyes on GM, not to chase after this price, but to chase after the silhouette or the structure on the price action that we might have, right? So let me just draw this once again so you can copy it and turn it back to you, Piper.
Awesome. Yeah, let's go talk about real fast about this poll. So yesterday, Super Bowl, guys. Shout out to the Eagles fans. If you guys are Eagles fans, I was hoping for a three-time win from the KC boys, but hey, they got owned yesterday. Let's be honest. But the Super Bowl halftime show. So if anybody that doesn't know, if you're not plugged into pop culture, there's been a lot of debate or a lot of battle going on between Kendrick Lamar and Drake, and Drake said he was going to do Super Bowl, so on and so forth. And so, yeah, that was pretty much the plot of that entire halftime show, was to make a point in a battle between two rappers. Big deal. Overall, I thought the show was not very good. I think as far as a performance, yeah, Kendrick Lamar gave a good performance, but I would not call that a good halftime show. It was not at par than what I'd like to see, but we did a poll on it. So how is the Super Bowl halftime? Horrible. That is what a majority of you guys have said. 62% it looks like here. Pretty good, 18%. And then not good, but I understand it, meaning the pop culture history behind it for the past year. 20% said that. So I just wanted to get on that one, close that poll out here in a little bit. But yeah, that was the thing. Did you watch any of the Super Bowl yesterday, OC?
Not really. I'm dying to see the replay because yesterday I was with some maintenance in house. So if you don't know, guys, I finally took some profits this year from the previous year out of my trading scenario, and that was thanks because of you guys. I asked you publicly on the classes, what should I do? And finally, I took some profits, and I'm going fully solar with a 10% super avid. But also that means I need to do electrical, and I like to do my own electrical if you don't know. But here in Mexico, all of the houses, all of the walls are center block. So making those outlets, man, is not fun, let me tell you. So yeah, it takes a lot of time. So I took advantage to do it. But man, I was dying to see it. In fact, I think MJ got mad at me because she wanted to see the halftime event. And I was just drilling the center block.
She didn't miss much. She didn't miss much.
Nice.
So if we ever see OC come in with Don King hair, we'll know that he was working on his electricity that day. I want to jump over before we go, though. Doge. Doge has been crushing it, or not. I don't know, depending on how you look at it. But Doge, the organization, the Department of Government Efficiency, is it worth it or not? I don't know. So far, it seems like they found a lot of fraud, waste, and abuse. I know the government is full of fraud, waste, and abuse big time, but it looks like there's been a lot of memes going on about Big Balls, and I want to talk about this. If you guys don't know, Big Balls is a 19-year-old analyst that's working in Doge, breaking down all this, following all the numbers, right? He's doing all the analytics. This here was a post that I got so many laughs off of this. This makes it all worth it. Whether you think that the Doge concept is working or not, you should at least be all for it so that we can get content like this. Let's go ahead and check this out before we head out of here. This is about Big Balls.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. We begin tonight with Musk and Big Balls.
Big Balls.
Big Balls.
Big Balls, who work for Elon Musk's so-called Department of Government Efficiency, Doge.
In the one case of the Big Balls kid, a literal teenager.
Big Balls online, Big Balls here that Katie's talking about.
A 19-year-old that goes by the username Big Balls.
So that would be one way that we could refer to him.
Young computer whizzes, the aforementioned Big Balls.
Because who among us doesn't feel better about Big Balls in charge of American air traffic control?
Big Balls. We need a new soundbite, man. Big Balls. Big ball soundbite. Big balls. Guys, put some balls in the chat. If you guys think that the Doge concept is worth it just to hear the social media say big balls so many times. I love it. OC, what do you got for the people on the way out, man? We got to get you back over to Chart Prime in 6 minutes for a class. So what do you got for the people on the way out? Besides big balls.
Absolutely. Guys,
besides big balls.
Besides big balls. Well, you need to oil your balls, by the way. Quick reminder there. If you don't know, there was a show that I brought on my balls, my stone balls, right? Nonetheless, guys, thank you so much for joining on today's class. We enjoy you having you around here. Also, shout out to Randy and Emma Coiner. So if you don't know who she is, go check her out and subscribe to her channel. Also, click that like button because if you don't know, clicking the like button enables you real power-ups. Today's power-up is not going to be growing a beard for a whole week. That depends if you like it or not. I might just shave and try it on myself. By the way, if you don't believe me, click it and watch it. If that doesn't work, let me know. If that does work, also let me know.
I don't want to see Emma with the beard. I think Emma looks fine just the way she is. However, if you click the like button, guys, that support line on the Pi Cycle bottom will hold. That it will. It's literally powered by likes on the Piper Academy Network. All right, guys, we appreciate y'all joining us here. We're going to be back here tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 30 minutes after the market open at our new time right here on the Piper Academy Network. Don't forget to tune in. 5 live shows daily. Good Morning Crypto before us in the morning, our show that you're watching right now, and then 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to have Trade Academy tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You're going to have the Crypto Nightcap, and then rounding out the evening at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as Markets After Dark with Lunar Beaches Crypto. We will catch you guys tomorrow morning. Until then, trade safe, and as always, use some risk management. Thank you guys for being here. Love you all. Peace.
I don't know what they keep telling me. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling up the wheels flow low. I know you hungry for knowledge, that's profit appetite. Classes in session, this for the Army Piper acolytes. Trade flag at the soul, train ready. What a line from OCI, form a Mexican spaghetti. Yo, crunch crypto with a deep dive to reject dime. And if you like the visual powered by Car Prime, then you were part of that alumni, that's all spine. But if you have step, fall back to offline. Boom shakalaka! We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling up the wheels flow low. Sound off. To get with them, the ZTS rhythm. Rip it, Alexandra.
Yeah, that's my alumni, you know what I mean?
That was awesome, dude!